What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I told y'all, I promised y'all that I was going to do 6 streams this week on the Millionaire Morning Show. So I didn't know if that was going to be yesterday or if it was going to be today. And then when I came in to do it yesterday, I actually had got into the studio a little bit later. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it that late. So I just decided that I was just going to go ahead and do it today. And really, there's no rhyme or reason because of it. Somewhat of a fact that I kind of owe y'all a little bit of a makeup show from last week, but that's not really the real reason. The real reason is just that I just believe that it's grind time. I like working, and there's no better thing to do than to work at the studio that you've created for yourself. And if you're gonna create something for yourself, I don't even look at this as a studio. I kind of look at this as kind of like a man cave, like a mini man cave. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a playground in here. And so, it's right in the middle of the city, right near downtown Detroit. And what better way to add value or to have a conversation and to give people some good content and to utilize the studio for what I need it for. You see the 4, 1, 2, let me see. This is 100,000 on the Anton Daniels. Actually, I think this is the Millionaire Morning Show one. This is the gold plaque for Anton Daniels. And then this is the silver plaque for Anton Daniels. And then that's room 9. So you said any excuse to get away from the women? Nah, we love the women. We love the ladies. Big facts, still working because I got school, but happy you decided to stream today. Yeah, so there's no expectations on the weekend. You can kind of just chill, do what you want to do. I do want to remind y'all 2 things, housekeeping. The first housekeeping item is we got frame fights tonight. I like to call it film review. We going over all of Tupac's films. Well, not all of them, but 3 of them. So we're going to talk about Juice. We're going to talk about the ladies, one of the ladies' favorite, Poetic Justice. And then we're going to deep dive into the Above the Rim. What up, everybody inside of the chat? And then tomorrow, we got Stock Club, all right? So tomorrow is Stock Club inside of the Patreon. If you guys are not inside of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Remember when I was talking about, before we get started with the show, remember when I was talking to you guys, and I actually dropped it as a clip. I was telling y'all that every guy remembers his first car. Every single person remembers his first car. I actually went through the archives and I was able to find my first car. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's so funny because I'm also looking at my neighborhood, right? My old neighborhood. So let me show you. I done showed y'all where I grew up at anyway already. So it's crazy. So let me share my screen real quick. Share screen. So this is the house that I grew up at, right? And if you look down the street and you can see all of this right here. So the house with this green door, it wasn't a green door when I was there, but this house with the green door is the house that I grew up back in the hood. But I was telling y'all that the hood didn't look like when we was growing up there, it seemed bigger than it was. And we actually cared for our house. So just because we grew up in the hood don't mean that, you know, let me show my screen. Just because we grew up in the hood don't mean that it had to be bad. So this house right here, this green house with the green door, and then you can look down the street and kind of see it, and you can kind of tell the driveway. So if you look on this picture right here in particular, I can see how much the house has changed. Like all of the siding is off on it and everything on there. But I actually went to archives and I pulled up a picture. And this is actually what it looked like back in the day. So you see the house right here? We had the motion light up here and all of that stuff. It looked completely different. We had the awning when you go into the side door. And it looked completely different than what you see up here. Crazy, bro. Crazy how much different this house looked when we actually lived here. Looks so much different. But this was my first car. It's the 86 Buick Regal. Got it when I was 18. Obviously, you can see me standing in front of it. But it was a really nice quality house. And then if you see it from the side, like if you go and you zoom out, right, and you see this from the side and you look down the street, you can actually see it's tripped out. You can actually see the other houses down the street. You see the difference? You see this house right here? It's actually that blue house that's right there. That's the 80. That's the day I got it. The 86 Buick Regal right there. But it's so tripped out because the quality of my house and the quality of the neighborhood was so much different. Now, you can also use this and say, oh man, Anton never grew up in the hood. Anton grew up in the suburbs. This is my crib right here in Detroit. That's my first car. I love this car. It was the 86 Buick Regal. It's dope. It's dope. Some people say, Anton, what did you, it's the inside of the car right here. So this is the inside of the Regal. That's the inside of the car. So got the pull-out radio right here. That's the inside of it. We look so much growner. This is what I'm saying. Like when we were 18, we look way different and way more grown. Look at the inside. You see all of the wood grain in there? See all of that? It was beautiful, bro. And then you also had the matching wood on the side and all of that. It's the first thing I did when I turned 18 is I went and got this tattoo. So crazy, bro. So we looked growner. And even back then, I would have fucked choke. I would have even then, even back here, I would have bust down your chick. Me and your chick was gonna go riding in the Regal. Oh man. Me and your chick was going riding in the Regal, boy. Yeah, you ready to go riding? Me and your chick going riding in the Regal, nigga. Oh man. And it's so funny, bro. I went through and I got all of the archive stuff. Yeah, bro. I couldn't afford a Grand National. I saved up and I got the Regal, bro. And then this was us in high school. This was my homie. And he used to pick me up in the Escort. My homegirl is doing my homie's hair. She braiding his hair on the passenger side. That's me right here, obviously. And we was just in the hood. Like we would get picked up in the Escort. And we was out in the hood. And we would just be in the streets, bro. Like, honestly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand how people today, as me at prom. So I went to somebody else's prom, obviously. I'm not going to show you her face. That's me right there at the prom. And that's her. That's the girl that I took to her prom right there. So, but I don't understand. It's so tripped out. No, it's not the 80s. It's 2000. That's the year 2000. I don't understand how, when I say it was a different time, lunch table. Shout out to my cast technicians, Tom Dog at the lunch table. That was the crew. I don't understand how y'all wasn't out and about. This is my homie Maris. Maris is he passed away, so he got caught up in a drug deal. Rest in peace, my dog Maris Mitchell. He passed away, but we was at school. Why do I always got up the middle finger? What's wrong with me? It's my dog Jamal. And we was at school. We was having a good time, man. It's tripped out. On the bus, that Hamilton bus. Catching the Hamilton bus. So tripped out, man. Crazy. This is the last one I'll show y'all. And then this was the day after I graduated. And then I had the goatee on there. I shaved it and got the goatee back in high school. So that's the day I graduated. So anyways, long story short, it was a different era, bro. It really was, man. It was a completely different era. It was a different time. We actually went outside and interacted with each other. We actually went outside and we you know what I'm saying? We talked to people. We interacted. We didn't think that the hood was the hood. It was just normal to us. It really was just normal to us. We was just out and about having a good time, man. So I kind of feel sorry for this generation. I really do. Because you'll never know what it's like to operate outside of social media. You'll never know what it feels like to get a handwritten letter from a girl. I ain't using no S-curl, no Murray's. That was just fresh, boy, lotion. You never would know what it feels like to get a handwritten. I'm gonna burn all of this shit too, because this shit is crazy. You never know what it's like to have a shoebox. To get the shoebox and have these girls writing 1,000 letters to you. You don't know what this feel like. This not your life. Can't believe I still got all of this shit, bro. They used to send letters, pictures. This is crazy. They will write your name in a signature. You ain't never had a girl write you a letter before. You don't know what life is like, bro. When they call you Superman time, the fuck? Superman time. Y'all say I had panties? Yo, you know what's so funny about this? Wow. When they call you, they Superman. You know what's so crazy about this, bro? I have no idea who panties these are. I have no clue. I have no clue whose panties these are. This was back in high school, bro. I should throw those away. I probably shouldn't touch those. Probably need to sanitize this shit. It's stripped out, bro. Fucking high school, nigga. High school, we had a ball. Had a ball in high school, nigga. Used to have girls' panties and shit. Insane. Absolutely insane. Insane, bro. It was just different back then, nigga. High school was a ball. We would be out and about, sending them chicks home, sending high school chicks home with no panties. Just in jeans. That's insane. I need to burn this shit. I'm burning everything in here. Ain't no telling what's in this mug. Mr. Anton Daniels. Chicks used to use the mail, bro. Hoes used to use the mail, nigga. Handwritten letters. They used to have good handwriting. $19.98. Fuck. 1998, nigga. Shit. This is insane. Fuck this thing. Out of control. Now y'all chicks y'all just writing, y'all texting and shit. Texting and shit. Going back and forth. You was born in 98? Gosh. Anyways, we got to go ahead and get on with the show. I'm going to burn this. I'm going to burn it. Absolutely. Let me acknowledge the couple, some super chats and some cash apps. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Rashara Haley. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you for the 75 ball. I appreciate you, love. Thank you. You are so, I love you, said, for the best morning show ever. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. My dog, Mike that dude. What up, Mike that dude? You said your first ride was a black two-door 87 Escort. Sheesh. Let me see. Somebody said, I threw out my box. Hold on, let me see. I threw out my box when me and my wife got together. Hell no. Had to get that shit out of here. Nah, fuck that, bro. Keep your shit. Keep your stuff, bro. Keep your stuff. Have all of these chicks writing in a numerous amount of letters. All your shit. Keep your letters. Keep everything that these hoes have never wrote to you. Evidence. Look at the good handwriting. Look at how good a handwriting these chicks. In 96. I was what, 14 years old? In 96. Talking about taking a bullet for each other. Remember the discussion that we had last Sunday night about who would take a bullet for who? Oh, Jesus. This is insane. This is insane, nigga. I had your chick writing a letter in 2026. 2026, have her writing a letter. I'm writing you a 4-page letter. Just Christian Black in the building. Shout out to Just Christian Black. I appreciate you, bro. Right Path Good says, morning, AD. I'm clearing my mind. I rock with you and the Nine crew. I think you have a right to do what you do and try to keep your name in a positive, AD. Shout out to the Right Path Good. I appreciate you, bro. You should put your regular picture back over there. Keep your letters, bro. Keep your letters. Anyways, let's get into the show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. We could just kind of freestyle today. Slow motion. Nothing major. Bullet, she was out here selling wolf tickets. And 96. Nah, man, I really believed that. You know what? I would take baby girl. Listen, back then, Mr. Lot, and we about to get into the show. Back then, you said anything and everything that was meaningful to me, baby. You know, I'll take a bullet for you. I love you. Yeah, man, you know what? I can't live without you. I just think I would just rather die. I just take a bullet for you. I would just, I in my life for you. This shit is crazy. She said, I would never say that I would take a bullet for anyone if I didn't mean it. I've never said that to anyone, maybe because I wasn't that much in love. I just didn't feel that way, but I definitely know that I'm in love with you because I can really feel it when I talk to you on the phone or looking at you. I really feel it when I'm with you, either standing next to you or laying on you or kissing you. Again, I've never been this much in love with someone before. So I'd have to say you're the first in my life to be in love with, or my first love. Oh, shit. Time Dog in 96 had these hoes going crazy. Jesus. Man. If they find a time capsule and they say, yo, what was it like back in 96? I'm going to be like, I'm going to hand them the letter and say, this is what it was. These chicks was writing letters. They was telling you that they love you. And I was telling them that I love them back. Yeah, I love them back. I love them with I'm a lover boy. Shit is crazy, bro. I can't wait to see you. Every moment I spend with you is a treasure. Remember, there's something special when I start coming to your house, when I started coming to your house, I treasured it even more. This is all I'm pretty much gonna write. I don't want to write too much, so I'll talk to you later after you finish reading this letter. This shit is 3 pages, nigga. Insane. Woo! That was back when you had a voicemail. You might have been playing it in a voicemail in the background or on the phone, and then you pulled it up. You said, "Yeah, I'm not here right now, but leave a message, and I'll get back with you as soon as possible. Peace." And you turn the music back up. You still do that, OG? Oh man, it's crazy, bro. Crazy. I wasn't selling wolf tickets. I really believed it at the time. I was ready to die. Hell, mom says you took me back with this note. Oh man, this is crazy. Anyways, let's see where we want to start at today. I want to start with the shutdown, because it's not something that's really being talked about a lot. We got to get serious, y'all. We can't keep going back in the day now. We got to get serious.
.42 a.m. in Austin.
Currently in the Austin security line, and this is how long it is.
Time lapse as the security line ran out the airport's front door, winding down the sidewalk.
Finally at the end, and here's the airport again.
That line, she says, an hour and 40 minutes. Long lines in Atlanta, too. In Tampa, Patricia Souter wasn't taking any chances.
So we came 2.5 hours early for our flight.
With TSA officers missing their second paycheck Friday, some continue calling out sick to take a second job. The checkpoint at Philadelphia Terminal C closed to move TSA staff to other terminals.
We had depleted all of our savings.
In Salt Lake, 9-year TSA veteran Robert Echevarria quit this month, not willing to repeat the stress from last fall when officers worked without 3 paychecks.
And seeing my wife, how she much struggled trying to keep up with how she was going to feed our kids. It was a big toll on her and her emotions.
Okay, so I got a couple different questions as we go through this whole conversation about TSA and the long lines and stuff like that, right? One of the reasons why I'm not interested in flying right now, because, I was thinking about yesterday going out to Austin and San Antonio and seeing what's going on. And when I was coming back from Vegas last Monday, Rita and Leslie had caught the flight earlier than me, right? Because they wanted to get Leslie home so that she could make sure that she got her homework done and that she was ready for school the next day. And so when they got to the airport, it was like, hey, make sure that you leave a little earlier because, they saying at the airport, the lines is going to be long. And this was before they even got to the airport. So they left super early and they caught the 11 a.m. flight. I wasn't going to leave until later because I had to live stream and I had to do the Millionaire Morning Show. And so I had to take care of business and get stuff done. And then I had to take, then I was going to go and catch my flight. But I just completely ignored it. And I was like, man, I don't care nothing about that junk. I'm about to just go to the airport at the regular time, go in the Chase Sapphire Lounge, and then I'm going to catch my flight. And I seen the airport and it seemed to be a little bit busier, but I'm thinking that if you got TSA, if you got the Infinity Stones, I call them the Infinity Stones, right? The Infinity Stones is Sky Priority. This is for people that fly Delta. Sky Priority, TSA pre-check, all of that stuff. It's like a whole, when you get your boarding pass, it's like a whole bunch of stuff that's under your boarding pass, and it's like green, red, blue, all of that stuff. So we call them the Infinity Stones because what we like to do is get everything that you can possibly get for airport because we fly so much, right? My daughter flies a lot. Everybody flies a lot. So when I got there, I literally got through there like a breeze. I kicked it with some people, some bag chasers, ran into some bag chasers. What's up to my girl Crimson? I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Kicked it with some bag chasers, and I went right through the line. But I looked over at the regular line for people that don't fly as regular as me, and that line was wrapped. It was like a little snake wrapped around. And I kept asking myself, because I wasn't familiar with the partial shutdown, and I was asking myself, what is everybody in? Why is there so many people here? Because I flew out on a Monday. I didn't even fly out on a weekend. I usually fly in on a weekday because it's lighter at the airport, and I fly out like Monday or something like that because it's a much easier time to get through the airport. And so I was trying to figure out, well, what the heck was happening? And what's really happening is behind the scenes, because you got so much different news. You got Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, right? You got all of that stuff that's happening, and we're going to go over that on a little bit later today. The government is going through a shutdown again. And TSA agents are on the front lines getting people through, but they're working without a paycheck. Now, of course, you're going to get back pay for all of the hours that you work, but most people are living check to check. You just flew out last Friday, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So now you see a lot of people getting emotional and they saying, I'm quitting my job. I'm not doing this no more. I don't want to continue to have to deal with this on a regular basis, right? And this is why. Because Congress, let me say it again, Congress got one job, y'all. They got one main job. They spend all of this time on social media. They spend all of this time sitting there advertising and fundraising and making TikToks and memes and pushing propaganda. But Congress got one job, one effing job. You know what the job is? To make sure that the government stay open and funded because they control the purse strings of America. When you elect a Congress member, and I think that Congress absolutely needs term limits. If we change anything in the government next, people should be running over the blockades to advocate for Congress having term limits. Oh, TSA pre-check. It depends, Molly Mall, how much you fly. You say is TSA pre-check worth it? It depends on how much you fly. If you just flying 2 or 3 times out the year, I don't think it's that big of a deal. You really just got to go through the process of getting vetted and stuff like that, and pay the fees or whatever. But I think it's worth it. I got cleared TSA pre-check. I got all of the clubs. I got everything. I think it's worth it because it gets me faster through the airport, and I don't have to worry about all of these stupid lines like a lot of other people, right? But why is Congress 2-3 times every single year? It don't matter if it's Democrats, it don't matter if it's Republicans. 2-3 times every single year, you're going to have a government shutdown. How long is the shutdown going to be? We don't know. Congress is still going to be getting their paycheck, so they're not tripping about it. 2-3 times. If you are a TSA agent, if you work for the federal government, if you are in any capacity, unless you work for the military, because they're going to prioritize the military over everybody, you should be planning and stacking and reducing your lifestyle expecting for there to be at least 2 to 3 times out the year for you to be basically getting back pay and the back payment because they are going to shut the government down.
Worked without 3 paychecks.
And seeing my wife, how she much struggled trying to keep up with how she was going to feed our kids. it was a big toll on her and her emotions.
The airlines are calling it a disgrace that Congress cannot reach an agreement or act on viable bipartisan solutions, while in Virginia, a food bank for the TSA.
And we're focused on making sure they're nutritious meals.
Meanwhile, with the war sending oil and jet fuel prices soaring, so are airfares. Deutsche Bank reports domestic advanced booking tickets have jumped 15 to 57%. And now the focus is on this weekend. With spring break travelers fearing more, TSA officers may simply not show up at airports nationwide this morning and tomorrow. Peter and Laura?
So I did a little bit of research for you guys. And because the last time, obviously, we know that they didn't like ICE. They was advocating for continuing to fund illegal migrants over in California, right? Obamacare, all of that stuff. And so that's the reason why they shut the government down last time. This time, the partial government shutdown is specifically over the dispute on centers, CENTERS, on immigration policy. Democrats have demanded increased oversight over immigration operations and accountability, blocking funding for the department without significant policy changes. Congress failed to pass all 12 necessary appropriations bills by the deadline. The impasse has created a standoff where some government departments are funded, but the Department of Homeland Security is not. So TSA is part of the Department of Homeland Security, and that is one of the reasons why they are not receiving paychecks. So Democrats are saying, we want more oversight over immigration. Basically, they're saying F ICE. I don't know if y'all remember when they went to the State of the Union address 2026 where Trump gave it. They want more oversight over the deportation of illegal migrants out of the United States of America. And that is why they are withholding funding from the Department of Homeland Security and why TSA agents, over 300 TSA agents have now quit. You're welcome, Democrats.
Tom Costello, we appreciate it. Thank you, Tom.
Millions of spring break travelers are on the move, hacking airports, all while funding for the Department of Homeland Security is halted, and 60,000 TSA workers are receiving their first $0 paycheck.
I have 3 kids, a wife who depend on me to go to work, and they depend on me to feed them, to take care of them.
It's a growing crisis. Denver Airport now asking travelers to donate food and gas cards. Food pantries opening up from JFK to Seattle.
I do plan on coming to work as long as I can. If I can't come to work, then I can guarantee there's a lot of other people that are not going to be able to make it.
Since the shutdown, more than 300 TSA workers have quit, and call-outs have more than doubled. This after chaotic scenes and long lines like these in Houston, New Orleans.
That's insane. If you guys are saying that I have to stand in this line in order to get through the airport, and a lot of times it goes all the way out the door, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not even interested in going to the airport and looking at a line like this. I'm going to just turn around. I'm going to go in my app. I'm going to find another flight 4 more days out. I'm going to go and get some nice hotel rooms, and I'm chilling. There's no way in hell you're ever going to sit there and get me to sit in any line like this. At this point in my life, I'm never standing in a line like this, ever, under no circumstances.
In Atlanta. And this morning, the TSA exclusively sharing this video with GMA, now being played in airports nationwide, warning passengers about longer than average wait times and staffing shortages due to the shutdown. This comes as the TSA acting deputy administrator tells us they've seen a rise in attacks on officers.
We've seen increases in assaults on our TSA officers, which is always completely unacceptable. And so we just ask our passengers to.
Somebody said pack up the car for a road trip. Nope. I'm not doing that either.
Please be respectful. Thank them because they're doing an incredibly difficult job under incredibly difficult circumstances.
Despite the shutdown, airlines trying to keep up with demand are adding flights. United Airlines expects this to be the busiest spring break season ever.
Some guidance for those traveling in the coming weeks. To save time, avoid checking a bag. Do your best to carry on. Arrive early.
Look at that line, bro. Look at that line. Mr. Lott says, I flew to Philly during the last shutdown and spent more time at TSA than the actual flight. Nope. Nope. Fort Lauderdale's airport is out of control too. I can't do it, bro. I'm just not. I don't have it in me no more. I don't have it in me anymore to sit in those type of lines. I'm not interested. At this point, you about to start calling a PJAD? Honestly, that's kind of a goal of mine, bro. That is kind of a goal of mine. Man, it's too inconvenient, bro. It is way too inconvenient. I can't do it, man. Sitting in those lines like that. And so I got a couple different final thoughts on this whole TSA situation. Well, three. I got 3 points. My first point is that I hate our Congress. I think that Congress is trash. Congress is absolutely trash. Congress, they need term limits. We need to figure out how to overhaul Congress immediately. That's number one. Number two, nobody should go without a paycheck that's taking care of work, that's doing work. But, and this leads me to number three, if you are a person that gets a job like a TSA agent, it seems as though you would plan for this type of thing. And you probably shouldn't quit your job until you got a better one. A lot of these TSA agents and stuff like that, you know what they're doing? They door dashing, they doing Grubhub, they Ubering, they walking dogs, gig economy. That's what they're doing. That's basically what they're doing. Everybody is trying to basically get into the gig economy to make extra money. So they'll call off work in order to drive people back and forth on Uber. And let me say this one last thing. You should probably this is just a suggestion. A lot of y'all should probably and this is why I've been telling the bag chasers for years, no man, in my opinion, women, y'all a little different. No man, in my opinion. Women are a little bit different. But for the men, no man should ever have anything less than 2 forms of income. The women can be a little bit different. Women, y'all not built like us. A lot of times women that have multiple different jobs, y'all suffer in other ways. But for my guys, the new standard is this. No man should have anything less than 2 forms of income, and you should only be depending on one of them in order to survive. So you need to lower your lifestyle to only depend on one form of income, but you should have at least 2 forms of income. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's 2 jobs. I don't care if it's a job in a business. I don't care. Preferably have more than two forms of income, but that's a whole nother conversation. But no man, if you got time to play video games, you got time to get a second form of income. If you got time to chase hoes, you got time to get a second form of income. If you got time to sleep at least 10 hours a day, you got time to go and get a second form of income. No man should ever have less than 2 forms of income, minimum. Because if you are completely in disaster zone, if you was to ever have a lull, a layoff, anything, you are not in a position to get married. You are not in a position to have a family. You are not in a position to carry a household. You are not in a position to be a leader. And that is one of the reasons why I showed y'all some of these old pictures. Is because when I was a kid, I did kid things. When I was an adult, I had to put that bullshit away so I can run up a bag because I wanted better for my family. If you playing video games and your kid is about to have to take out student loans, you're not a man that's ready for a family. I'm just telling you the truth. Just stay single, and it's nothing wrong with being single. Just stay by yourself, and there's nothing wrong with being that. Stay with your parents until you decide that you want to actually level up and get your shit together. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But no man should be sitting there. Listen. If you play games, that's cool. That's your hobby. But not while you got kids that need you. Not while you got a daughter or a son that's going to have to be put through college. Not while you got people that your chick is struggling. Y'all got student loans, you got debt, you got credit cards, you got all of that shit. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with going through it, but don't go through it just to get to it. Don't you want better? Don't you want to go on vacation? Don't you want a house? Don't you want something that's meaningful for your family? Don't you want to run up a bag? Don't you want your girl to experience first class? Y'all sitting comfortably in first class. Don't you want to plan for a vacation? Don't you want a retirement? Don't you want to be able to fund your 401k? You telling me you 40 and you ain't got nothing put up? You ain't got no 401k. You ain't got nothing. You just winging it, nigga. That's it? That's it. You don't at least have the option. Y'all just struggling for no reason. You just poor for no reason and you got extra time on your hands. So it's 24 hours a day. You say you're going to go and do your shift and then you just going to go home and kick it. You know how many people are approaching retirement age and ain't got shit? He said 401k is a scam. Lord, bless my people. Bless my people, bro. Bless my people. Bless my people. Real talk. I'm not, bro. I'm in the studio on a Sunday. I'm in the studio on a Sunday. I was talking to my daughter because I wanted to go to church, but I'm going to go to church next Sunday. And I was talking to my daughter because she was on her way to Taekwondo. And she said, Dad, what you about to do? Because I had got up and so I had moved the cars around and stuff like that. I said, I'm about to hit the studio. She said, on the Sunday? I said, yeah. She said, I get it. She get it. She just get it. She get it. She get it. She's like, I feel you. All right, Dad. That's what she used to. She's used to seeing a man get up and go to work. She's used to seeing a man get up and go run up a bag, go take care of business. That's what she's used to. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Women should see men that get up and go do sweet shit all the time. Women, listen, old, young, daughters, mothers, they should be seeing men get up and do sweet shit all the time. If that's not what their experience is, if that's not what they're seeing, then we have a bigger problem on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We have a massive, massive cultural problem on our hands. We should be building stuff. We should be coming home with new stuff, new cars, new everything, because we work our ass off and we deserve it. What do you mean you just chilling? You just slow motion? Wait a minute, you just chilling? Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not going back to where we used to. We're not living in poverty. We're not doing none of that stuff. We're running up a bag, bro. We running up a bag. If it's a bag to be had, then I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going ahead and do it, bro. Straight up, because I just don't have no patience for being broke. I'm not waiting on the government to take care of me. I'm not waiting on somebody to send me nothing. I'm not waiting on nobody to give me an opportunity. Fuck what you talking about. Oh, man, there ain't no jobs. All right, well, until I get one, I'm creating them. I'm going to create. A man should never expect for another man to be able to provide for him. Honestly, what you talking about? It ain't no jobs. Okay, well, then that means I got to go and create an opportunity for myself. That's all being a business owner is. Do you know what being a business owner is? It's creating a job for yourself. It's creating a job for yourself. That's all being a business owner is. It's creating a job for yourself. You mean I got the opportunity to work as much as I want to work and I'm chilling? I was sitting in your car and talking to him and calling him all last night. It was 1 a.m. 1 a.m. last night, your car. I said, hey, man, we gonna do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is what the agenda is today. Hey, what about this? Hey, did we take care of that? Did we cover this base? Let's focus on this too. What we doing, man? We don't have to be behind the 8 ball. I'm going to just tell y'all the honest to God truth. We don't have to be behind the 8 ball. You don't have, if you're in the United States of America, you don't have to be broke. You know that? You can actually go and run up a bag, man. I'm telling you the truth. You can go and take care of it and run it up and make as much money as you want. All of that. And guess what? You know what women consider quality time to be? To just be around you. You could be sitting there working, they just want to be around. They want to come and hang out at wherever your business is, being at work. They don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas are so dumb. You think that you got to take her to Ruth Chris every day. You think that you got to go on dates every day. You ain't got to do that. You know where women had the most fun time? Where they could be around you when you doing sweet shit. Hey, I'm about to go take care of business. I got to run to the post office. This and that and whatever. I'm about to take out the sweet car. Oh, can I come with you? They act just like little kids. Yep. Come on through. They feel like they done been on a whirlwind. They done had a whole day. Oh, man, it was such a good day. All you did was take her to run the errands that you take care of every single day. And they love that shit. Me sitting here, whatever, right? Y'all see me on a live stream. Since I'm on camera, you ain't going to see nobody in the background. When I'm off camera, when I'm just working and doing sweet shit, it's always somebody. You know why I got so many chairs? Because it's always somebody in the background. Can't wait for me to end the live stream so they can come and lay out and pretend like they on camera. That's the first thing a girl do is soon as you go off stream, they come up here and they get on camera and they say, hey, I'm Anton Daniels. And they want to pretend like they you. Women love that shit. But see, you don't know no better because you're not used to getting girls that write you goddamn letters when you was younger. So you never knew what the unlock a woman look like. You ain't got to spend no lot of money. You ain't got to do none of that shit. All you got to do is be productive and do sweet shit. That's it. That's it. That's the goal. Busy people get everything. She hates seeing you. You think, look, she got to try to sit up under you while you play video games because she think you a bum. Your girl think you a bum. And it's not that you play video games, it's that you play them bitches all day and ain't got no money. See, it's okay to play video games when you got money. When you ain't got no money and you 2K'ing it up and you're not making no money from 2K, that's a problem. That is a problem. I'm just giving you the game, bro. I'm giving you the game. Real talk. They will sit up under you every day and they will watch you make money. And they will look at you like mesmerized, like this nigga is everything. This dude is the king. Man. You could be dressed like this, dressed like nothing, right? But I got the fresh stuff up. I wear the same Yeezy slides I've been wearing for the last 5 years. The same Yeezy slides. But I got a whole fleet of shoes over there. Damn, you don't never wear no shoes. I don't never have no time to wear them shoes right now because I be busy. I'm grinding this grind season. Oh my God, he's so productive. I got sneakers sitting in the background that still got the paper in them. Still got, look, ain't nothing on the bottom of them. We just, they here. They just in case shoes. Those are summertime shine shoes. Those are the shoes that I'm gonna use when I use when I'm on camera when I'm recording over there. Them the new joints that I use on camera. I got the Yeezy slides on, but they love that shit because they know you rich for no reason. Girl, he rich for no reason. He don't even care about that stuff. He ain't drove that car in over a year. He just rich for no reason. You don't know nothing about that. You know why you don't know nothing about that? Because you ain't never experienced it before. You don't know nothing about that. What you know about sending a chick to bed and then she fight like she don't really want to go? And then you go in there and you say, hey, put this down. It's time to go to bed. Okay, they want to be told what to do. They just want to be told what to do by the nigga that they actually adore and that they like. When they adore you and they reverence you like this nigga's the greatest of all time, 5 minutes feel like an hour to them. You telling them what to do, other women call it being controlling. But when she love you and adore you, it's called being caring. Hey, hold on. Put that, girl, why you keep falling asleep? Put this down. Come here for a minute. Get in the bed. Get in the bed. Got this heated cover on. Take this off. Get in the bed. Here. Acting like I'm not trying to fall asleep around you so that you can pick them up and put them in the bed. That's what life is like. But you don't know nothing about that. Still begging hoes for a place to stay. Oh. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Look at him. Money comes and goes. Being an asshole is forever. Sound like a nigga that still got his nuts, that still piss on his nuts. Sound like somebody that ain't never had nobody actually care about him and sit him down and tell him, hey, shut the fuck up. Sound like somebody that don't know nothing about life. That ain't never told nobody what to do and been respected. Still pandering. Shout out to my girl, my girlfriend. Shout out to Crimson. Says, greetings and happy Sunday to you, Lord Nubian King Anton. I hope and pray you have a wonderful Sunday, sir. And then hit me with the sir. Keep being great. Shit. Let me, well, I'll figure this out later. You know, one thing I love is to be praised. If there was ever such thing as a love language, that might be one of them. I love that. Jason Gregory says Congress has become nothing but a bottleneck and a highway when it comes down to doing the people. That's a fact, bro. First of all, shout out to you for the 50 ball. Shout out to you for the 50 ball. But secondly, if it ever was an accurate description of what Congress is, that is absolutely correct. You are 100%. Tony Esquire says, speaking of term limitations, Maxine Waters is running for real. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No way. She 87. Hold on, bro. She was born in 1938. I know you lying. I know you lying. No, she ain't. I know you lying. I don't believe you. Come on, fam. This can't be life. No way. At 87 years old, Rep. Maxine Waters isn't slowing down. In fact, she's doubling down. The long-service Congresswoman from California has confirmed she is running for re-election in 2026, brushing aside rumors about her retirement and filing officially for the primary race. Why? Why? Look at her. Y'all dummies still voting for her. She secured over 75% of the vote in the last election. This is crazy. Why? I ain't been on Facebook in so long. And look at Mark. True leadership is to serve, train, and leave and mentor. No, he's right on this one. He's right on that one. I thought he was about to say something else. Look at Trayvon. If Trump, McConnell, Susan Collins can say, leave Auntie Max alone. Fucking up the money, messing up the votes. Somebody else is supposed to be in there doing what she's supposed to do. And guess what? Nobody actually cares about whether or not you're capable of doing the job or you best for it. They just do it just because you're a popular name. And he's absolutely right. If she runs her district, we'll vote her in. Her district electorate, she'd be offered up for cognitive medical studies. One of the best examples of needing term limits. Term and age limits are needed. No, we love her, but it's time for her to be a full-time consultant or a mentor. This is crazy, bro. And people are going to vote her in, too. Even Democrats, because I can look at their profile picture and tell that they're Democrats. Everybody, it seems like, agree. At 87, she still gets started. Everybody seems to agree, and we all seem to be on the same page, that we need term limits. Oh my God, this chick.
Member of our committee, Mrs. Waters of California, for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you very much, Secretary Besson. In the FSOC.
That bad wig, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. We got to stop, bro. We have to stop. We have to stop. This is not right. This ain't right, bro. She got to go. This was 4 years ago right here.
Anniversary of one-party rule. And what do we have? We have COVID.
Kevin McCarthy is making a with Maxine Waters, chair of the Financial Services Committee.
Come on, man. They teeth ain't working no more. What the fuck is that? Come on, Grandma. Y'all get on up, say on the scene, and like a sex machine, get on up. I feel good. I knew this shit wouldn't know. Let me see something. Hold on. James Brown. Oh, nigga, y'all are the worst ever, bro.
So.
Oh, no. Oh, dog. Oh, dog. Oh, y'all are the worst ever, bro. Lord, forgive me. Forgive me, God. Forgive me. I didn't come up with this joke, Lord. This is the chat. This is the chat. This is the chat. This is the chat. This is not me. This is not me, God. This is the chat. The chat is diabolical. The chat is diabolical, bro. This is a man's world.
Thank you.
Good gosh. Oh my God. The chat is out of control, bro. Out of control. This nigga Domain Degen says I got that hair now. Oh, don't be in your feelings, Breshan. Everybody can have a couple jokes here and there. She's a public figure. She's a congressperson. And she 87, bro. She 87. She don't need to be in office. This is why you can't tell jokes around women sometimes, man, because they ruin all of the fun, man. She do look like James Brown in her older age. I bet you she might have been bad when she was younger, though. I bet you she was bad when she was younger. Maxine. Yeah. She was definitely, you know, Maxine Waters. Is that her? That ain't her. I don't believe that shit. Some of these people been old for a long time, bro. Some of these women been old since they was young. You know, there was a generation of women that was old when they was young, bro. And men. They always was no less than 50. Real talk. There was always no less than 50. Morgan Freeman. Facts. Always no less than 50. It's a chick that be making videos about me. I think her name is like Keisha or something like that. I actually got her real name. This is her. This is her. Found somebody sent me the file. Got the old pictures. This was her. Some of these women were born old. Oh, y'all didn't know I knew? Yep, I know. More information to come. Everything will be... Tony Esquire says, speaking of term limitations, Maxine Waters is running for re-election. That's crazy, Tony. It's crazy. Yes, we got criminals on YouTube. Tony Esquire says, I have a thrift savings plan as a TSP. Oh, you was in the military. Retirement plan for federal employees and military members. It functions similar to 401k. Always be prepared. That's a fact. That's a good thing to do. That's a good thing to do. Make sure you continue to fund that. Shakur Nash says, would you recommend replacing one job source of income that doesn't allow time to pick up a second with two completely new job sources? I don't recommend ever not having income at all. So I believe in always leveling up and then filling in the void, filling in the extra time that you have with the things that you can also continue to manufacture. You know what I'm saying? Never let your main get fucked up by your sides. And then you want to grow your side to become your main to where your old main can no longer sustain you, or you losing money by not nurturing this thing that you got going on over there. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, yep, I'm going to see Cardi live in Detroit today. No, I'm not. Trey Day says, quick question. Do you ever get in a slump with too much going on? All the time. All the time. Always have. It's not that I get in a slump, but I always have too much going on. And I just have to try to figure it out, compartmentalize it. That's where I use my calendar at. You know what I'm saying? Crimson says, you are certainly talking facts about what women want and how men should aspire to become and work to achieve. This is why your Lord Anton. Oh, man. You sent me a message. I got positions for you. Changing Narrative says, what up, though, AD? Can you do a review on the live stream of this new song I do on gospel rap? I'm in the D. This is for Good Sunday. I don't really do reviews on songs on the Millionaire Morning Show. We got Stock Club coming up tomorrow on the Patreon, though. TS Car Wash and Detail. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. AD going where the fire burn your hell. Maxi Pad Waters have made more money than what she can stand to spend in her lifetime. Her and others need to be booted out. I agree. Why are they not pushing her out? Mimi says, pull up the video of JB drunk on the news being interviewed. He had the same glasses and hairstyle. Augusta GA's finest moment. Nah, y'all crazy. Y'all nuts. John Barlow says, what up, AD? Your content is awesome. I just joined the Patreon. How do I get the coaching call? Send me an email at antondaniels413@gmail.com. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says she got a wagon, OAD. Y'all crazy. You saw them Kels photos? What are you talking about? I'm not opening up nothing on my browser that say Arkels. I'm not, if it's something that say Arkels photos, I'm not opening up anything on my browser with it. Jude says Maxine Waters reminds me of my aunt Cookie, one who said her microwave told her to delete her husband. Jesus. 80 that said her book was a New York Times bestseller. Man, y'all out of y'all mind. All right, let me continue on. There was this. Well, I guess we can do the other stuff first. Let's do the important stuff first. Let's go over to Trump. Well, let's go over to Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth did a press conference, and he broke down what was going on over in Iran and what was happening to the new supreme leader, the son. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Here's Pete and what he had to say.
It would not be a fair fight, and it has not been. As I stated during our first press conference on day 2, that was 10 short days ago, the combination of the world's 2 most powerful air forces is unprecedented and unbeatable. Between our Air Force and that of the Israelis, over 15,000 enemy targets have been struck. That's well over 1,000 a day. No other combination of countries in the world can do that. So today, as we speak, we fly over the top of Iran and Tehran. Fighters and bombers all day picking targets as they choose. As our intelligence gets better and better and more refined. Looking up, the IRGC and Iranian regime sees only 2 things on the side of aircraft: the Stars and Stripes and the Star of David. The evil regime's worst nightmare. Iran has no air defenses. Iran has no air force. Iran has no navy. Their missiles, their missile launchers, and drones being destroyed or shot out of the sky. Their missile volume is down 90%. Their one-way attack drones yesterday, down 95%. And as the world is seeing, they are exercising sheer desperation in the Straits of Hormuz. Something we're dealing with, we have been dealing with it, and don't need to worry about it. We're on plan to defeat, destroy, disable all of their meaningful military capabilities at a pace the world has never seen before. But it's not just that Iran doesn't have a functioning air force, or that their entire navy is at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, or their missile force is shrinking daily. Even more importantly, they also don't have the ability to build more. That's the most important component I'd like to emphasize today. Soon and very soon, all of Iran's defense companies will be destroyed. For example, as of 2 days ago, Iran's entire ballistic missile production capacity, every company that builds every component of those missiles, has been functionally defeated, destroyed. Buildings, complexes, and factory lines all across Iran destroyed. So we're shooting down and destroying what missiles they still have in stock, but more importantly, ensuring that they have no ability to make more. Their production lines, their military plants, their defense innovation centers defeated. Iran's leadership is in no better shape. Desperate and hiding, they've gone underground, cowering. That's what rats do. We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. He put out a statement yesterday, a weak one, actually, but there was no voice and there was no video. It was a written statement. He called for unity. Apparently killing tens of thousands of protesters is his kind of unity.
I'm going to read that shortly, Silent Sniper. I appreciate you.
Iran has plenty of cameras and plenty of voice recorders. Why a written statement? I think you know why. His father, dead. He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess for them. Who's in charge? Iran may not even know. With every passing hour, we know, and we know they know, that the military capabilities of their evil regime are crumbling.
So he's confirmed that every single person who even presents themselves to be a leader over in Iran with the regime that they still have, ultimately, the minute that they decide that they want to take on a leadership position, you go ahead and get maimed, disfigured, or killed. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. But we said it the minute that they said, oh man, Iran picked a new leader, a new supreme leader. It was over. It was over immediately. That's the shortest job. His job was similar to the job that they did. His job was similar to the job that Jim Carrey had when he thought he had became the new CEO or the new vice president or president of the company that was going underground. It was, I don't know if y'all remember that movie. It was similar. It was like a parody of Enron or something like that. I don't remember exactly what Fun with Dick and Jane. I think that's what the name of it was. Fun with Dick and Jane. The Iran leader had the same kind of situation as Jim Carrey in Fun with Dick and Jane. Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie. The minute that he decided he wanted to be CEO of Iran, bombs dropped on you. They saying that he might even be dead already. They saying that he might be dead already. We're not fighting for Israel. We're fighting for ourselves. Israel is just our partner. Y'all just hate Israel so much, Curtis Taylor, that you want to make it seem like, oh man, this war is nonsense. No, war is nonsense. It's a reason why people go to war. It's a reason why you would go to what you would call this to be a war. This ain't a war. This is a wash. This ain't a war. This is a wash. So let me ask you a question. Was it meaningful for us to remove Maduro also, or should we have let the Venezuelans continue to suffer and Iran, China, and Russia continue to pillage every ounce of oil that they got out of that country over here in the Western Hemisphere? Was that meaningful, or should we never, ever? Should we only leverage not to be proactive, or should we be reactive and wait for them to do something against us or against somebody else, and then we leverage our military? Just asking. Just asking. I've already done 7 live streams telling y'all exactly how this benefits us. If you want to go back and watch it, you're more than welcome to do so. You're more than welcome to do so. I don't consider myself a part of the media. I just give my own opinion based off of what I see. Since 1979, they've killed American troops. They've armed and proxy wars. They continue to support Russia. They helping them build drone capabilities and military sites where they now can continue to attack Ukraine. They've been destroying all of our enemies. Destroying all of our partners. They continue to try to develop ballistic missile capabilities and nuclear weapons. Condoleezza Rice, I already showed y'all the interview where Condoleezza Rice literally broke down why we basically been going back and forth with them since 1979. It's just that we haven't had any president before us to do anything about it. Why do you think that we have partnerships all over the world? Why do you think that we have alliances all over the world? Why do you think that Maybe you supported Biden too, right? Let me guess. All of a sudden, nobody supported Biden. You know what the interesting thing about Biden is, and about the narrative about Biden? You know what the interesting thing about that is? Let me tell you what's interesting about it. Everybody says that they didn't vote for Biden and they didn't support illegal migrants coming into this country to the tune of probably over 20 million people. Yet they continue to try to sell us on the idea that he had more votes than any president in history and had over 81 million votes. How many votes? They telling us they trying to convince us that this mother effer got 81 million votes, the most votes ever for a presidential candidate in U.S. history. But nobody, so either they cheated or a lot of people is lying. Either they cheated or a lot of people are capping. Which one is it? Because it's got either one of them is bad. Either one of them is bad.
Communicate, let alone coordinate. They're confused and we know it. Our response, we will keep pressing, we will keep pushing, keep advancing, no quarter, no mercy for our enemies.
In the middle of COVID too.
Yet some in this crew, in the press, just can't stop. Allow me to make a few suggestions. People look up at the TV and they see banners, they see headlines. I used to be in that business. And I know that everything is written intentionally. For example, a banner or a headline, Mideast war intensifies, splashing on the screen the last couple of days, alongside visuals of civilian or energy targets that Iran has hit, because that's what they do. What should the banner read instead? How about Iran increasingly desperate? Because they are. They know it, and so do you, if it can be admitted. Or more fake news from CNN. Reports that the Trump administration underestimated the Iran war's impact on the Strait of Hormuz. Patently ridiculous, of course. For decades, Iran has threatened shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This is always what they do, hold the strait hostage. CNN doesn't think we thought of that. It's a fundamentally unserious report. The sooner David Ellison takes over that network, the better. Another example of a fake headline that I saw yesterday, war widening. Here's a real headline for you for an actual patriotic press. How about Iran shrinking, going underground? You see, Iran's leaders are hiding in bunkers and moving into civilian areas. The only thing that is widening is our advantage. Not to mention our Gulf partners stepping up even more, now going on the offense, and have always been with us on the defense with collective and integrated air defenses. Our will, it is unshakable. Our options, maximized, and our capabilities still building. We're going up, they're going down. As I said from the start, President Trump holds the cards. He'll determine the pace, the tempo, and the timing of this conflict. His hand firmly on the wheel, as well as on the throttle setting. America first, peace through strength, in action. From day one, as our nation expects and the president demands, our warriors have fought with lethality, precision, and rapid innovation. In fact, today will be, yet again, the highest volume of strikes that America has put over the skies of Iran and Tehran. The number of sorties and number of bomber pulses, the highest yet, ramping up and only up. And quantity has a quality of its own as we continue to ramp up. Every tool of AI, of cyber, of space, EW, counter UAS, you name it, we're employing it. Blinding, confusing, and deceiving our enemy. Because we know who the good guys are here. And the American people do too. And that makes my job simple.
The media is spinning the narrative, and they have an incentive to do so. The reason why they can spin the narrative and why they're going to continue to do so is because it's popular amongst their watchers, and it also generates revenue and profits. One of the reasons why they can't wait for Dell, or not even Michael Dell, for CNN and all of its conglomerates, I believe CNN is under Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So when Netflix was going through and was trying to go into a bidding war with Paramount over Warner Brothers, the reality was that David Ellison led that, right? Obviously backed by Larry Ellison. David Ellison is the son of Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison is the owner of Oracle, right? The billionaire owner of Oracle. Ultimately, when they got sold, or when it's basically under scrutiny for being sold to Paramount, because Netflix pulled off, that is the reason why Pete Hegseth said, the sooner that Warner Brothers is owned by David Ellison, the sooner that we can actually get some act right from these media sources. And that's what he meant, because CNN is owned by Warner Brothers, and they are now going to be under new leadership once Paramount takes control of it. I don't know what changes. I don't know what happens in that situation. But it is true. I will give them that. It is true that we used to have solidarity in this country. We used to have patriotism in this country. Now, I see so many people actually defending Iran and saying that Iran has the right to defend itself. And man, I hope Iran actually beats the United States of America. Every single time that there's somebody that actually has something negative to say about the United States of America, I see raging liberals and even people in the chat sometimes say that they align themselves with those very enemies of the United States of America. And it's pretty crazy. And I know that y'all are the type of people that think like that are the type of people that would do their own people dirty. Your mother has no chance. Your own brother, your homeboys should probably watch you closely, because you the snake inside of your own family. You the snake inside of your own crew. Honestly, real talk. Because see, it's one thing to have an opinion about whether we should or shouldn't. There's another thing to root for the very people that want to destroy you, that's saying death to America. You the snake. If you want to know who the snake is, all you got to do is watch their behavior. If you want to know who the snake is, look at how they react and what their perspective is towards other things that don't even have nothing to do with you. And it'll give you a better understanding of exactly how they would do you if they had the opportunity to do so. Because you know what real ones do? Real ones argue behind closed doors, but they present a united front when they come out of that door. Real ones fight, argue, claw, whatever. They'd even get it in behind closed doors. They'd throw hands behind closed doors. But guess what you not gonna do? You can't talk about them. You ain't never had no brother or sister. And y'all went at it with each other, but if somebody else say something, it's like, who the fuck you talking to? Because I can argue with my guy, but you can't argue with my guy because that's my guy. You understand what I'm saying? But the other ones, they only around when it serves them, when it's convenient. And they'll switch up as soon as the heat comes. When they perceive something to be difficult, that's when they then make the adjustment. And that's how you know who the real ones are and who the ones that's not real. That's how you figure it out. I'm keeping it 100. People that don't support the United States of America and they would actually support our enemies. That's how you know the snake. That's how you know the snake. It's obvious. It's so obvious. It's crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy. And so when I see these liberal, I think that MS Now and CNN is actually against the United States of America. I think that there's media companies, maybe they're funded by people outside of here. Hey, baby. Hey, honey, how was it? Your leg hurt? You need to rest. You just fought yesterday in a competition. What class you not going to tomorrow? Oh, okay. That's what's up. Why y'all training on a Sunday? Okay. Okay. All right, let me call you as soon as I get off this live stream. I don't usually go live on a Sunday. I'm just yeah. So how do you feel anyway?
My leg is not ankle. It's mainly.
Okay, you need to go and rest. When is your next competition?
When we go to England.
England.
Or what is it? Manchester, London. What is it? I don't remember. One of those.
We going to England?
Manchester or London. One of those two.
I thought it was Brazil.
No, that's after.
Oh my God.
That's like 2 weeks after, yeah.
So when is that?
That's like.
No, when is this London trip?
Oh, that's April, like the 3rd week of April. Yeah,
oh,
and then after that in May, we go to Brazil.
You're so expensive.
It's okay, bro. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, fun for you.
No, we're all about to have fun. It's about to be great.
Oh my God.
All right, I'll let you get back to your live stream. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye, babe.
Bye.
Oh, brother. I ain't never been to London before. I don't even know nothing about London. I don't know nothing about Brazil. I don't know nothing about none of this stuff. This is all new to me. Oh, brother. What's in London? What's in London, y'all? Somebody say, yeah, I'm cool off, kids. Oh, y'all so funny. Somebody said, yeah, I'm cool off, kids. Why? Is it the cost? What is it that about kids that you cool off of? Is it the cost? Somebody said that's probably how AD was in his teens. I didn't leave out of town outside of Cedar Point until I was an adult. It wasn't until after I was already an adult. That's when I started actually traveling out of town. I hadn't been to Florida. I hadn't been anywhere. Oh, no. Back up. I had been to Atlanta. I had been to Atlanta like when I was younger because I went back to Dawson, Georgia, where my father and his grandfather and all of them was born. So I did go to Dawson, Georgia. But I don't remember going anywhere outside of Ohio and Atlanta, Georgia, and Dawson, Georgia. Maybe I'm missing something, but I didn't travel when I was younger until after I started getting older. And so Detroit was as big as it got for me. All I knew was Detroit. So I didn't know nothing about the world. I didn't know nothing about international. I didn't know nothing about none of that. Her passport is stamped down. She got experiences that I could never get, bro. Ever get. So it's way, way different for me. I didn't grow up like she did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't experience life in that way. Silent Sniper says, it's been a while since I showed some support. I will say it's crazy every time I open up YouTube and see AD bashing video. It's wild. Grown men and women dealing with emotions like bees. This is what I want y'all to do. Whenever you see those videos, click the ellipsis. Let me show you. Let me show you how to do it. Let's say I go to YouTube. I'm gonna teach y'all how to clean up your algorithm. Let's say I go to YouTube. And I see a video that I don't like. Let me see if I can find a channel. Oh shit! Shout out to Red Man. I love that man. See if I can find a video I don't like or channel. Or something that's not meaningful. I like Larry June. See, my algorithm is clean, so I don't get no videos that I don't necessarily care for. Okay, so here's one. I can go with Omarion. Let me see if there's something else better. Oh, girl. New York's finest. Yeah, I'm not going to care about that. All right, so this is how you deal with it, all right? So you want to go to the video that you don't necessarily care for, all right? I'm going to teach y'all for those of you that may not know. Let's say you see an AD video that you don't care for. You click the ellipsis. There's three little things next to the video. You put don't recommend channel. And you'll never see anything from that content creator again. And that is how you do it. Click the three dots next to the video. Put don't recommend channel. Click don't recommend channel. And then you won't ever get that in your algorithm. So when I say to y'all a lot of times, and I say, well, I don't necessarily see it until y'all send it to me. This is why. It's because I'm not familiar with anybody that is on those channels doing that. So now I don't see it. When you go through my algorithm and you actually, and I open up my YouTube, like I can go to YouTube right now, right? Let me show you. I ain't gonna click that. So I can go to YouTube. I'm gonna refresh. I don't see anything about me negatively from anybody. I don't see anything. Because if I go to my do not recommend, now I see stuff from After Out Room 9 right there. I see basketball stuff. I get Marquise Brown Lee, NBA stuff. I get a whole lot of car content. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. I actually like Poetic Flacco. He dope as hell. Lots of car stuff, lots of basketball stuff. A lot of political stuff, a lot of podcasts, a lot of that type of stuff. You see Luca. I don't see anything, literally. Shout out to Turquoise Jeep, Mr. Flossie, Flint Flossie. I get a whole lot of car stuff. Or I can do that one. Don't recommend. Let's do this one. Here's a good one. So let's say I never want to see anything from Vlad, right? Then I'll go to do not recommend. Let me scroll out a little bit. Sorry, y'all. So I'll go to do not recommend channel. And I can either undo it or not, because it'll tell me we won't recommend videos from this channel to you again. So now I never have to worry about anything from Vlad ever being recommended to me ever again. So when y'all open up your YouTube and you see the stuff that you don't necessarily care about or people is clout chasing, all you got to do is go to the 3 little dots. Let me show you again. Three little dots, don't recommend, and then it'll knock it out for you. And then you clean, and that's how you clean up your algorithm. That's how you only get recommended things that you like. Because if it's some shit from somebody that you don't necessarily care about, if you already subscribed to the channel, then you might want to unsubscribe from the channel, right? But it's some shit that you don't necessarily care about, and then you won't ever see it again. And that's how you clean up your algorithm. All right? I'm giving y'all a YouTube tutorial. We got to get to Jasmine Crockett.
Iran is raising the stakes rapidly, as I just talked about with Chris, to try and make Donald Trump back down. They have effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz to drive up oil prices. This is blackmail against not just America, but the West and their Arab neighbors. Additionally, they've put their uranium stockpiles deep in Granite Mountains. Our bunker busters cannot get to those stockpiles. Now President Trump faces 2 options: quit by declaring a half-baked victory, or win.
We are in a position of dominance that nobody's ever seen before. And whether or not they're able to say the words or whether or not they're able to even fight, their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, most of their military is gone, their big threat is gone in every way.
So today, Trump doubled down. He ordered a massive attack on Iran's Karg Island, blowing up the island's military defenses, but not its oil infrastructure. You can see here, these are the terms.
We're not going to blow up the oil. We're coming to get that. We're coming to get that oil. Anton, why are they going to, why are we going to come get the oil? Why are we just blowing up the infrastructure that allows for them to be able to profit from it? We're not going to blow up the oil. We coming to get the oil. We had already sent the Navy out there to go and get the oil. We coming to get that. You know why? Let me tell you one thing that's cool about Trump. Let me tell you something that's cool about Trump. When you are an enemy of the United States of America, and I'm pretty surprised that no major network has actually talked about this, but they should. When we went over to Venezuela and we went and got Maduro, and they say, let me see if I can find a cost. How much it costs the United States to invade Venezuela? As of early 2026, let me see. Early 2026, the ongoing military operations surrounding Venezuela, known as Operation Southern Spear, have been estimated to cost approximately $31 million per day. This includes significant unbudgeted expenses for aircraft carriers, air wings, and special operations forces deployed to the region. Okay? So whatever the cost was total, we went in there overnight, kicked ass, snatched them up out of there. You know what we did right after that?
The ships.
You know what we did right after that? We went and got the oil, and Trump said, all right, so this is how many hundreds of millions of barrels of oil that they decided to send to us. You know why he did that? Because you are going to pay for us to come in and save you from your own dictator. Well, no. We need that. We need that because it cost us X amount of dollars to do it. And this is how we going to cover our costs. And in addition to that, after we get our money back, then we going to go ahead and we going to share in the profits. And we going to make sure that we have a fruitful relationship. Trump go over there to get that because he said, y'all paying for this. We not paying for this. So not a lot of people think that this is only about the Strait of Hormuz. This is not just about the Strait. This is also about when this is over, not only are we going to lower gas prices, but we're going to cover the cost that it took for us to take y'all out. And we're going to make sure that we recoup that. We recouping all of that. We recouping everything. Coming to get you. We're going to take out the leadership. We taking out the supreme leader. We taking out all of his lieutenants. We taking out all of the generals. We're going to remove their ability to continue to try to manufacture ballistic missiles. We're going to eliminate their capability of building a nuclear weapon. And we're going to absolutely, positively neuter you guys. We're going to bolster our relationships with everybody in the region because we've been sick of everybody around Iran been sick of Iran for a long time. We're going to take over the Strait. We're going to open this bitch back up. And then we're going to come and get that oil and y'all going to have to pay for whatever it is that we had to do over here. That's gangster. Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang. I'm going to come over, kick your ass, and then I'm going to make you pay for it. Gang, gang, gang. So, you know, Trump do stuff like white people, but because we don't think like white people, we don't think like people that are sophisticated. When you sue somebody, trust me, I'm learning much about this throughout the process in 2026, okay? When you sue somebody, you may front the cost up front, right? And I recommend that you get some money in order to do so, because what happens is, let's say, for example, you file a lawsuit against a company or your company, right? Let's say you was wrongfully terminated and whatever. Or you get into a trucking accident. You see those, or, you know, mesothelioma and all of this. You know, your grandma be watching all of those early daytime shows and they show all of those commercials on the TV. Well, guess what? What happens is the lawyer don't mind fronting the cost because he know he gonna get his on the back end, and that's why he want to hurry up and get the money from the insurance company, or he wants to go into a settlement with whoever it is that they're trying to get the payout from. And so they're gonna recoup their costs, and then they're gonna pay you out whatever it is that they're gonna pay you out, right? And that's why you don't get a whole lot of money, or you may get a decent amount, a big lump sum, but they might split it in half with you or whatever, right? When you sue somebody, and let's say, for example, you're successful in your lawsuit, one of the things that you actually recoup is your attorney's fees. So you're suing them for your attorney. I'm suing you for whatever it is, pain and suffering that you caused me, or whatever problems that you fucked up. And then I'm also putting in that my attorney's fees. So the best way to do it is to already have money. Why? Because once you already get done with it, and if everything go the way that it's supposed to go, you're right, MISO lawyers take 40% off top. Once this thing go to wherever it is, I'm going to get all of my money back, and I'm going to get back whatever it is. And so it's really just a patience thing. But because we got this mindset a lot of times that we used to being raised in the hood, we don't think about what the long-term play is, right? And so they think about whatever their ego is going to boost them up to, because the game is to let the internet or let your homies or let the hood go, you know, boost you up. But in reality, the real play for every single thing in life, everything, I don't care if you're talking about the war with Iran, I don't care if you're talking about the woman that you get with, I don't care if you're talking about the job that you decide to take, I don't care if you're talking about the curriculum that you pick in college, I don't care if you're talking about the stocks and investments that you make. Every single thing that is worth having is the long-term play. It is never going to be the short-term game. Never. It's never about the short term. It's all the way. Everything I think about, all right, so how do I win the war? Fuck the battle. Fuck the battle. Right? I like to play chess. And in chess, the goal is to win the war, not to win the battle between pawns, not to win the battle between bishops, not to win the battle between rooks, not to win the battle between knights, not to win the battle between kings and queens. The goal is to checkmate. So if you win every piece on the board and I checkmate you, that's the play. So everything I'm thinking about, you have to think about it from a 10 move, 12 move, 14 move, 28 move perspective. When you get very early in the game of learning how to play chess, you're not so much, if you got a good teacher, they're not teaching you necessarily just about the openings or what's the difference between a pawn and a knight and all of that. The goal is to teach you how to see the board 14, 15, 16 moves ahead of time, right? It's not about ego. Oh, he took your rook. Oh, he took your this. Because a lot of times you can get so focused on taking pieces that you miss the mate. You miss the mate. One of the earliest moves that let me see something. I don't know if it's possible to see what the simulation is going to be. Oh, you can do it. Okay. Let's go to reset. One of the earliest moves that I learned, and it was a very, very, very interesting lesson, was I was taught this when I very, very first started learning how to play chess, right? And so anybody that knows how to play chess, follow along with me. But for the sake of conversation, if I go king pawn and he goes king pawn, and then I threaten, right? And then he defends. Okay? So now I'm going to pull out, and he's going to go there. And then he's going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and then he's going to go here. All right? So let's assume that this is set up like this. So if I move here and go here, the natural thing for somebody to do is to take the queen, right? Because the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. This seems like, oh man, Anton made a mistake. He went and took it. And so you're going to take the queen, knock the queen off. Now you think you're winning. The next move is to go here, which is check. And the only move he has is here. That's checkmate. Right? This very early lesson showed me. This very early lesson showed me that you never pay attention to directly what's in front of you. You always try to anticipate what the moves are. 4 and 5 at minimum, 10, 12. And then once you get really good, that's when you start studying openings. That's when you start anticipating every single possibility of what can happen. I sacrificed the queen. That is correct, Jamie. I sacrificed the queen because I wanted the mate. It wasn't about the exchange of pieces. It was about what is the long-term play and how does this then affect the game? I'm focused on the game, the long-term game. Most people in our community, they're focused on how they feel right now. They're focused on what's in front of them. They focus on whether or not they feel like they're winning at that particular time. I will tell you right now, that I believe, just for the sake of
oil from Iran,
I believe life is a chess game. What the fuck is you talking about? Life is a chess game. Everything you do is a chess game, Abe. Everything you do is a chess game. I bet you these motherfuckers that got with the wrong girl and had the baby with the wrong girl, at the time that they sitting there and they loving her, they like, oh my gosh, she's so fine, she feels so good, whatever, so on and so forth. I bet you if they knew that she was going to hold their kid against them and charge them child support, they would take that shit back because they didn't have the vision, the foresight to be able to see what the long-term play is. Life is a chess game. Everything you do is a chess game. That's why it's the greatest game and the oldest. It's the oldest and the greatest game on earth. And every single great person, most great people that understand life and win at it, is also strategic, and they play chess and they understand the game. You don't understand the parallel, and I get it. I get it. But let's get back to it.
On outgo, there's pipelines from the mainland that come into here. Karg Island is Iran's lifeline. 90% of Iran's oil exports flow through the island. It's also Iran's Achilles heel. And Trump's massive bombardment of the island's facilities show what the Americans can do, what the U.S. military can do. He ordered a 5,000-strong Marine Expeditionary Unit to the region. It will take the Marines aboard the USS Tripoli 2 weeks to reach the Persian Gulf. They are purpose-built to seize an island like Karg. Today, Trump threatened to blow up the oil infrastructure on Karg if Iran kept firing on tankers in the Strait. Since this war started 2 weeks ago, we've told you that all Iran has to do to win is survive.
You know what's so funny to me is that we'll sit here, right, and we go back and forth. And the thing that I always try to do when I'm trying to understand what's happening or what move is being made from a political perspective is I'm trying to understand what's the long-term play. What's the long-term play? Well, why did they let 20 million people over here? Because they're trying to make them little Democrats for the rest of their life, because Democrats are losing power, because usually when you get older and because we're not necessarily growing as a population here in the United States of America, a certain demographic isn't. And once people start to get older, they start to move over to being a lot more conservative and Republican. Well, what is a Democrat strategy in order to stay in power? Well, they got to let a lot of people in here. It's the reason why they continue to vote against voter ID, all of that, right? So I'm looking at the long-term play. Now, other people may say, oh my God, we just got to defend it because it's the Trump administration. If you don't think that we have some of the most intelligent people around the world, as well as right here in his own administration advising him and looking at every single possibility of what can and can't happen. If you think that we just went over there in Iran and we didn't have a long-term play, a long-term solution, an ideation of how this is going to play out, and more importantly, the why of why this was going to benefit us 13, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line, you are smoking crack. If you don't think that this man has some of the best advisors all around him, you are smoking. If you think that you sitting in your fucking basement playing armchair quarterback, I always go back and I look at it in hindsight and I say, oh, that was smart as fuck. Anton, what is smart? Because he didn't make the attack until after the State of the Union address. Man, that all makes sense now why they went into Venezuela first and got Maduro. I'm looking and replaying the games, chess, to better understand exactly how it is that we're going to set this up. I'm immediately going back and I'm looking at it. Oh, man, he did this, he did that, he did that. Okay, well, that makes sense why he was so aggressive when it came to removing people that's not supposed to be here out of the United States of America. Because what if we have sleeper cells? Or what if we have people that's truly against the United States of America that is going to make it more difficult for us to make sure that we get this thing done and whatever, so on and so forth. Every single thing, everything is a piece moved on or off the board. Every single thing is a piece moved on or off the board. You don't think that they already took in a possibility that Iran would attack this place or attack the people that surround them, or that they would try to cut off the Strait of Hormuz? You don't think that they took that into consideration? Think about it. One thing that the Iran foreign minister said is they had just got done talking to us. They had just sent their image. They had just sent their people over here. They all walked out and they were saying, oh man, yes, this was a great meeting. We're negotiating peace with Iran. The next day, the supreme leader and every motherfucking body that was around him was dead. The next day, every single person that was the supreme leader and everybody that was around him was wiped off the map. Maybe he never intended to negotiate with these niggas in the first place, and that was the setup. That was the play. I don't know. And next day, everybody was dead. Shit, all of the Navy is wiped out. All of their Air Force wiped out. Everybody was wiped out. Let me guess, they supposed to telegraph it and tell you what the play is before they decide to do it. Let me guess, they got to go over and get congressional approval to wipe these niggas out. Nigga, you kicking it with my enemy. You hanging out with the enemy. You know what I learned the other day? Somebody told me, they said, Anton, you playing this wrong. I said, what am I playing wrong? What do you mean? They said, Anton, you so busy trying to remove the people out of your circle or remove the people that's trying to be in your circle that's hanging out with your ops. Nigga, you need to go back to what Pac said in the 90s. I said, what did he say? He said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's true. Satan, get out your feelings and start playing chess. Okay, you're right. You're right. All right, so I got to start making different decisions. I got to stop trying to figure out. I got to stop trying to eliminate and start identifying. Then you can start playing the game a little bit differently because you see the whole board. And instead of trying to remove the pieces, you can start leveraging that shit. Okay? Makes sense. It's not about trying to remove them. It's about using them for what they're good for. Okay?
They cannot survive without oil exports from Kharg Island. For those keeping score, Iran has played most of their cards. Trump has many left.
Update in the conflict with Iran, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying it's possible the United States Navy will escort commercial ships through the Strait of Hormuz as the global oil market is choked off from the Middle East supply. Let's go to News Nation's Tom Dempsey. He joins us live at the White House. Tom, what do we know about the progress of these strikes against Iran?
Hey, Alex, good afternoon from the White House. Well, look, a short time ago, President Trump posted to Truth Social saying that these U.S. strikes have completely decimated Iran. And he also called on other countries that receive oil through the Strait of Hormuz to do more to combat that Iranian threat in the area right now. We want to show you this post that came down, like I said, a short while ago from the president, where he talks about this, writing in part, quote, the countries of the world that receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. And we will help a lot. The U.S. will also coordinate with those countries so that everything goes quickly, smoothly, and well. But of course, this all follows an earlier post today where he wrote, quote, many countries, especially those who are affected by Iran's attempted closure of the Hormuz Strait, will be sending warships in conjunction with the United States of America to keep the strait open and safe. And this all comes after President Trump tried to really ease some of the concerns about gas prices on Friday.
You're going to see a very big decrease in the price of gasoline, gas, or anything having to do with energy. But as soon as this is ended, but we had to end the nuclear threat in the Middle East and throughout the world. So we want to done that.
President Trump added that the U.S. carried out big hits on Friday against Iran, including what he described as one of the most powerful bombing raids in Middle Eastern history.
I was talking to my brother. What was that when I went to Tulsa? I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I started convening more with my bros. All three of my bros, and then some of the people that was closest to me. Because I was like, wait a minute, I need to get a different set of eyes on some issues, some real life shit that was happening, right? And they was like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then we all prayed together, and it came to me. And it was one particular issue. We found a snake that was in our circle. And it's some very prominent people that's in the city or whatever. And we found a snake that was in our circle. And so we used a woman to find out that it was a snake that was around us. And so, you know, they was like, well, what we gonna do? We gotta, you know, remove this person. We can't work with them and all of this other stuff. And I said, nah, that's not what we gonna do. That's not what we gonna do. I said, let them keep doing what they doing. This is the honest to God truth. I'll call my brother right now. I said, let them keep doing what they doing. Let them play the game that they're gonna play them. I'm going to check in with the girl, because if you ever want to know what really is happening all around you, you got to put the girls on it. The girls is always gonna be the ones that find out every single thing about you niggas, and they're gonna tell everything. I said we're gonna put the girls on it, and then when we come back, and then we're gonna wait. Let's wait for a month. Let's wait for a couple months and see what they do. And I promise you, they fell right into it. Let me call my brother. What up, bro? Hey, I got a question. I'm on a live stream, so all right. So be very, very careful. I want to get your thoughts on one thing. So remember when? Don't say no names. Don't say none of that, John. Remember when I was talking to you when I had landed in Tulsa and I was on the phone with you?
Landed in Tulsa.
And I was telling you about these guys that was some snakes.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Keep reminding me.
I was telling you about a guy that was some snakes and he was simping for a girl.
Okay. Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And you was telling me, man, we got to work. We got to come together, and it's good for y'all to come together and work together for the city and all of this other stuff.
Facts. Okay. Yeah.
You remember?
Yep.
And then I said, well, let's hold on. And what did I say that we should do? We should wait and see.
Yeah, to wait and see if it was going to continue on.
And what did they do?
Well, you told me that it continued on, and you know, it's a weird situation. You know, I don't.
You ain't got to be specific. You ain't got to be specific. We can be very vague.
Yeah, it's just a weird situation.
How? Don't say no names. How do we find out about how this nigga was moving?
You said through the girl.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you.
Wait. Hold on, I gotta plug myself in before we get off your live. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all go check out What Up Though WUD on YouTube and subscribe. All right, broski.
All right, bro.
All right, one.
Every time. Every single time. Every single time. Every time. If you want to find out what these niggas is doing, all you got to, I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. If you want to find out what's really happening, all in any crevice, any crack, any this and that, all you got to do is go put the ladies out there. The women is going to find out. They're going to tell you everything. They're going to get these niggas juiced up. They're going to make them feel good. And you're going to find out who they really are. Who their character is, what they really about, what they really talking about, what their goals are, their objectives are. It's over. It's over. Every fucking time. Every time, bro. And the one thing I learned about guys is that all of them is weak. All of these niggas pillow talk. All of them tell you exactly what their goals are and what they weak. They simps, suckers, the toughest of them. The ones that y'all think is the toughest, they the weakest. They the weakest for these women, bro. It's the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. Craziest thing I was like, And I was talking to my mans yesterday, and I said, yep. Just like I said, it was going to play out. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. So weak. Shout out to Silent Sniper. Says, it's been a while. Oh, yeah. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Yep. Yep, I appreciate you, big dog. Congressional term limits are needed. AIPAC owns our politicians. If GCC partners pull their money out, the New York Stock Exchange and the T-bills would crash. Curtis Taylor says, if you want to find a snake, watch the money and see how it's in stark contrast to what's being professed from the mouth. Congress has been corrupted. Shout out to P. Shank. I appreciate you, P. Shank. Man, I feel good today. I don't know why I feel so great today. Somebody said, damn, fam, you live? I am. I am live. I am live. Yes, I am. Never let the left hand tell you what the right hand is doing. And never let the right hand know what the left hand is doing. Let's see what else is happening in these streets. Maybe I'll save the rest of this for tomorrow. We already 2.5 hours in. We had a nice little time. Somebody said the comedian was going to tap that chin. The comedian is in the worst shape that they've ever been in their entire life. And I'm not even talking about physical. I'm talking about how broken they are right now. And y'all haven't even seen my final form yet. I've already did a whole video about Jasmine Crockett. Oh, I didn't do a video about Jasmine Crockett yet. I'll say that for tomorrow. The worst thing that somebody could have ever did was, and it's going to be some more that fall out, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm going to talk about Jasmine Crockett tomorrow. I know the comedian regret the day that they ever said anything about me or even had me up on the pub. They like, them niggas is in shambles. They ain't never suffered like this before. They fucked up. He fucked up. Appreciate you. Ain't never been this bad for them. Thought that they was going to be in the twilight of their life. Oh, no, we're going to talk about Jasmine Crockett tomorrow. We're going to talk about Jasmine Crockett tomorrow. I ain't even close to being done, bro. I'm not even close. I'm going to talk about Tiffany Henry tomorrow. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. All right? Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all. Tonight, Frame Fights. We're reviewing all the Tupac films. Juice, Above the Rim, Poetic Justice. It's going to be dope. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. Or I'm going to holler at y'all later on tonight. Peace.